line screaming like a siren at night. Red and blue shouting, nobody's right. Smoke in the streets, truth under attack. Everybody's loud, nobody's got facts. Feeds keep scrolling, nerves stay tight. Matchsticks flicked in the dead of night. They sell fear, cheap package the lies, while the clock keeps ticking, empires on fire. Can't sit quiet while the world's on edge. Lines in the sand, standing on the ledge. No script, no leash, no polish, quiet. Just a voice in the dark and a spark to the wire. This is and I'll bring the fire. Gonna light it higher. No filter, no fear, I say it raw. Strike the match, let it burn through the fog. This is and I'll bring the fire. And I'll bring the fire. Everybody's selling truth like a brand, buying opinions they don't understand. Talking in circles, screaming online. Keyboard courage, borrowed spines. Yeah, power plays dressed up as peace. Same old wolves with different teeth. But silence is loud when the house is burning. And the fuse is short, yeah, it's still learning. I don't dance for the left or the right. I stand in the heat, I stand in the fight. No strings, no chains, no manufactured choir. Just gasoline thoughts and an open lighter. This is and I'll bring the fire. Gonna light it higher. No filter, no fear, I say it raw. Strike the match, let it burn through the fog. This is and I'll bring the fire. And I'll bring the fire. World's on tilt, pressure climbing. Truth don't whisper, it's perfect timing. You can't cancel the smoke, you can't stop flame. Say my name when it hits, say my name. Why? Say my name. Say my name. Fire don't ask permission. Fire don't need a side. Fire just shows up honest and exposes the lie. This is and I'll bring the fire. Truth it's harder. Burn it down till what's real survives. No smoke, no mirrors, just heat and lies. And I'll bring the fire. And I'll bring the fire. American fire. Strike it. Let it speak.
Hello and good evening, everybody. All you beautiful, beautiful people. How are we doing tonight? Hope you're doing well. We got a lot to cover tonight. It's a good day. We've had a week of winning. I think it's only what God determined we needed a lot of winning this week after the near shooting last weekend, and it has been nonstop. So we've got a lot of winning to cover tonight. Things are just ramping up all over the place, and it's honestly, things are kind of so spread out right now that there's not like one huge story. In fact, it's a bunch of little stories that are building up to big stories, except for Candace Owens getting sued. So kind of like that one, TPUSA has finally thrown the hammer down, and we're gonna really find out in the next few weeks if what's going on with Candace, and if those of us who see the grifting are going to be validated legally or not. So that's a big one. But then the final blow is being planned in Iran. We're going to go through that and all kinds of crazy moves going on globally because of Iran. Still, every day, I feel like every day we have something new to report on, that the effects of this Iran war are going on, and honestly still good for the U.S. And then still the Voting Rights Act yesterday, SCOTUS, man, there are a lot of repercussions coming out from that. Again, good for MAGA. Democrats are scrambling. And finally, we got a whole segment on the DOJ. Things are continually ramping up. Todd Blanche, Kash Patel are just going for it. and I'm so here for it. The storm, my friends, looks like it has arrived, and I hope you're ready for it, because I think it's just going to be a lot more of this going forward. Momentum, the shift has come. Do you feel it? Can you feel it? Because I certainly feel like something lifted this week, and we're moving much faster. So before we get into it tonight, guys, please hit the like, hit the subscribe. Just take 1 second, hit that, smash it. Let the algo know you like it. If you're on X, hit that repost. If you want to share with your friends, share with your friends. Of course, I appreciate it. And let me get into the chat. Say hey to the main peeps who got here first. Girth Mike, numero uno. What's up, buddy? Wago Waco, Cass Sink, Jen MAGA, Seth Linerode, Ray Sandoval, Big B, Taya Dye. How we do? I can't speak. How we doing tonight? Ellen Hunt, Franny Pants, Vince Feliz, Heidi Moga, Isaac, Barefoot DC, Linda Telly, Scott Volkovich, Jay Tyrus, Candace Morgan. I hope it's not like this all night for me tonight. I'm tongue-tied. Rum Dog, still winning, buddy. Mark Marito, first live. Welcome, sir. Doc No, Teslin Joe, American Granny, how we doing? Frank Anastasio, CJ Yukon, what's up? Tammy Anderson, how we doing? And the AZ Tropic locked guys, chat it up. Offer your thoughts, your questions. Hit me up. But listen, you got to tag me so I can find it. And even then, if the chat's going, I might not find it. So if you want to send a super chat, feel free. I'm not asking for your money. I'm just telling you it's the one way I can guarantee I'll read it. But other than that, I do take breaks in between segments, try to read your questions, comments, disagreements, if you're honorable. Trolls will not be tolerated, and so on and so forth. You guys know the deal. The mods are here, and they know what I like. So they like to keep a nice clean chat where everybody can get along. That's how it should be. All right. You guys remember that? And that was a thing. Like late 90s. Some of you might be too young. Some of you might be too old. And some of you might be like me and remember that regretful time of life. Anyways, let's move on. I am digressing. All right, let's start. I want to start with this tonight. Not because it's the most important story, but because it might be my favorite. Tonight, guys, we are starting with the grifter report because I am just very happy to see how things are going down. Candace Owens has been smacked. Brian Harpole from TPUSA has dropped the hammer. Here's a great post from LH Gray breaking it down. Federal defamation civil conspiracy suit against Candace Owens, her LLCs, Georgetown Incorporated, and the Fort Huachaca, Fabulous Mitchell Snow, and it's long, viciously overdue. The man who spent years putting his body between Charlie Kirk and every credible threat now gets to drag Owens into open court for what she is, a predatory opportunist who weaponized a national tragedy to manufacture a conspiracy so grotesque it makes her Macron birth certificate fever dream look like amateur hour. I love this copywriting. This person, LH Gray, really knows how to tell a story, and just reading it, it's mellifluous coming out of my mouth. It's melodic. It's beautiful. We don't use our words well enough anymore. This is wonderful. Let's speak with cold legal precision because this isn't free speech. It's defamation per se with actual malice screaming from every pixel under Tennessee and federal standards. Harpole doesn't even have to prove special damages. The false accusation he orchestrated Charlie Kirk's assassination is libelous on its face. Owens took a witness of convenience, fed him a narrative, amplified across her podcast, X-Feed, and every grift-adjacent platform, then doubled down while Kirk's blood was still warm on the pavement at Utah Valley University. That's not journalism. It's reckless fabrication calculated to destroy a man's reputation, livelihood, and safety. So she goes on to break down Candace, which I've done enough, so we don't need to spend our time on that. But let's look at this lawsuit. Harpole's lawsuit against Candy Owens is serious. It is proof she knowingly lied and proof of reputational damages. Whew! I'm so excited about this. I'm so excited about this. Owens had access to Harpole's flight records and knew it was impossible for Harpole to have been at Fort Huachaca on September 9th, 2025. On December 22nd, Owens confirmed on X she'd viewed Harpole's flight records and she incorrectly stated they don't provide an alibi for him at 7:30. Since she began targeting Harpole, he has lost major clients and his reputation in the security industry has plummeted. Finally, the eggs are hatching. The chickens are coming home to roost for Candace. This is going to be glorious. I hope they take her for everything she's worth. She is the shrieking banshee of the false MAGA, America First fraud, FAGA, whatever you want to call it. I cannot stand this woman. She has only gotten worse, and she's come back bitter, more disgusting, as she mocked Erica Kirk's running from the gunshots at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. And I mean, there is just no class in this woman. She is fully gone, full retard, but bitter, angry, vicious retard. It's horrific what she's done, and I cannot wait for it to come home to roost. And for those of you who still get after me every time I go after Candace as if she's provided anything of evidence, just because you guys don't trust the Charlie Kirk investigation, that's fine. Just because I have no problem with that. Just because you think there's more to the story, I agree with you. But if you think Candace has provided any receipts and she's done anything more than just make life miserable for a widow and kids and torn down a man's life work that she calls one of her best friends, even though we have way more evidence that Charlie couldn't stand her anymore than we do of her being a friend to him, if you still trust her just because of those things, which are legitimate, I don't know what to tell you. You're being grifted in real time. She's playing with your emotions and she's manipulating your legitimate concerns. She is a witch. I'm sorry. She's a manipulative witch, and everything about her is fraudulent. And this is going to be beautiful to see it go down. It says this is in the actual lawsuit. Owens had access to Harpole's flight records. On the December 22nd, she confirmed on X she'd viewed the flight records and she incorrectly stated it, but she still kept going. She never issued a retraction. Like, this woman is stupid. She's just stupid. So she's dragged her fake whistleblower. Mitch Snow is also going in with them, sued for defamation. So we'll see where this goes. But if anything else, guys, we're getting disclosure, and that is going to be beautiful. Let it all come out. And, you can't keep doing this stuff. You just can't. Like, it's okay. We have responsibilities, those of us with audiences, right? And Candace's audience is, a gajillion times bigger than mine. All right, that's fine. And if she'd presented a shred of actual evidence on anything instead of Egyptian planes landing at her lawyer's office in Jersey, if she presented anything that, okay, that's where you dare somebody to sue you. That's, you have the receipts. But she just kept going and going, telling different stories over and over, not responsible at all. The woman was addicted to her fame, her fortune, and honestly, probably an asset. And again, just let's be honest, because she married a man who is, by all accounts, gay. After 17 days of knowing him, he's heir to a $300 million fortune. His father is House of Lords and connected to MI6. That sometimes is all you need to know, at least for me. So I cannot wait to see how this plays out. It's massive news. And I hope God's justice will be that Candace Owens' empire falls before TPUSA does. Let's hope it gets there. But, of course, Candace, remember last night playing the stuff about the woman calling out stuff like, we're moments away from a constitutional amendment that strips free speech away. It's because they're doing. And Candace, I agree with this assessment. Trump is signaling he wants France to be able to bankrupt podcasters. This woman, how on earth, like, where do you get anything like that? This is the latest example of her craziness. He hopes Brigitte wants a ton of money. Melania wants Jimmy Kimmel fired for a lame joke. Not a lame joke, especially not after he was almost shot the next day. Erica is responding to Drewski like he did anything other than mirror speech they're coming for. They blame independent media for the mass awakening. Can you believe this right here? Trump blames independent media for the mass awakening. Does that make any sense at all? As Trump is the one who has suffered far more than anybody else in all this. I mean, this close to being killed multiple times, almost had his full fortunes taken away from him, almost imprisoned wrongfully on charges they changed the statute of limitations in New York just to be able to even charge him. The jury didn't even have to pick. They didn't even have to galvanize around a single charge. They just said, if you think any of them are real, say he's guilty. I mean, this is the craziest thing. And no, it's independent media is the reason for the mass awakening. And so Trump is trying to end free speech. This woman is an insane person. Kept the Epstein story and Charlie Kirk murder alive when the deep state wanted both buried. Really? Okay. Except it was Trump that caught Epstein. It was Trump and his people that were talking about the Epstein files leading up to his reelection. And the Charlie Kirk murder, he hadn't been in the ground more than 2 weeks when you started this. There was no time to bury it. There was no time to let it go, be pushed under. So, I mean, this woman she's insane. She's insane. Unfortunately, she's not the only one. We have a whole lot of grifters, and they're all buddy-buddy. Alex Jones tonight. Well, Alex has got to do his thing to scare everybody. Let me see if I can give you guys the best Alex Jones voice. But President Trump is publicly preparing a ground invasion of Iran to open the Strait of Hormuz, despite the fact major polls show it's the most unpopular war in U.S. history. Most unpopular war in U.S. history. I don't know. You heard of a little war called Vietnam there, Alex? When people were rioting in the streets, attacking our soldiers when they came home. I don't know, but a ground invasion, has there been anything? We've heard about this since day one. Oh, they're definitely building up the ground invasion. So many accounts. This is happening. Trump's completely breaking his promise. Meanwhile, they haven't even hinted at it. These people just make stuff up at this point because they're running out of content. And the only way, by the way, once we get into what Trump did today and what Trump is moving forward, my God, like he's doing stuff we haven't even asked for. It's just going to get better and better. And we still got over 2.5 years to go, but they're running out of things. And so they're making them up now. And Alex should be absolutely embarrassed. Absolutely embarrassed. And then he's got many other important topics, including number one is the shutdown of InfoWars. Of course, because it's always about Alex all the time. We have Buckley. Piers Morgan today had Dave Smith and Buckley Carlson show up, try to just present crazy theories to the world about Trump, about Iran. And thank God Will Chamberlain is much smarter than both of them. But just listen to this little clip they had. That was a little fun.
Vance or anyone attached to this administration has a shot at being the next nominee.
You hear Dave Smith is saying nobody attached to Trump at all has a chance of being elected in the next election because Trump is such a disaster. That's That's Dave Smith's take. That's Buckley. They're talking this. I watched this so you didn't have to. They're talking about Tucker being the real front runner and hope he's preparing to run for president because he'd be the true Republican. They actually said this, that Tucker Carlson would be the true Christian conservative Republican to run. Tucker Carlson, the guy who literally just had a man on saying that Christianity is actually about communism and socialism, and Tucker is sitting there agreeing. And so this is what they were talking about, and thank God Will Chamberlain was there to set them straight.
Nominate. I think if things continue on as they are right now, it's going to have to be somebody outside of this administration, with the exception of maybe Joe Kent or someone like who resigned in disgust.
Joe Kent. Maybe it should be Joe Kent running for president. These people are so stupid. Can you see the op? Can you see the psyop? I mean, you can't possibly be that stupid. Dave Smith, however he became famous, he's not funny, but however he became famous, he got up there. He's not a stupid person. You can listen to him talk. He's intelligent enough. There's no way in hell anybody could actually believe Joe Kent has a snowball's chance in hell at becoming president, and neither Tucker Carlson. But that's the argument they're presenting. This is how you know it's an op.
When it was happening. And I just want to say,
it's libertarian fantasy land. Libertarian fantasy land.
Sure. We'll see. Well, he's already
we can make a bet at
approval rating
some
around
point
George
if you can
W.
figure out
Bush.
terms.
Sure. Absolutely. He's about as popular as George W.
Libertarian fantasy land. I love it. The libertarians are, and not all libertarians. Again, the guy next door with his "Don't tread on me" flag. Total libertarian. I'm sure he's nice, and I'm sure he's perfectly smart. It's the libertarians in media, libertarians in politics that are all total frauds. It's pathetic. And then we have Alex helping run the grift for Tucker by sharing Tucker. You see, they've all created their ecosystem. They all just talk to each other, and they all just share the same incestual audience. They just pass them around. Here, you get some views, and you get some views, and don't worry, I'll make sure you get some views, and just make sure that I get some views. I get to use them next. I get to abuse their intellect next. That's what we're going to do. We're just going to go in circular motion. And Tucker calling it out. And as Alex has this, remember last night Alex was trying to cozy back up. The whole segment last night was, well, even though things have been bad, we can't just give up the midterms. We got to vote. As the Democrats are just so much worse. And so Alex trying to come back. And now Alex is just sharing Tucker blasting Trump. I'm not even going to play the Tucker clip. It's 27 minutes. It's not worth it. But you have failed. You've not done a good job running this country. You don't even care to try. You'd rather run the world or the empire. Tucker Carlson goes scorched earth on President Trump for not caring about the needs of American citizens at home and focusing more on foreign policy, foreign wars, and foreign nations' needs. That's all I hear now when I see these people. It's such a joke. It's such a joke. And I look forward to the day I no longer have to do this because it's pathetic. And if you guys don't believe me, it's pathetic. If you still believe that, if you're still caught in the psyop and you just can't see past it and you still think these people matter, well, real numbers, as always, tell the story. A data breach happened. Tucker Carlson's subscriber database has no access controls. And so all these people, Newsmax, Patrick Bet-David, Alex Jones, well, there's a data breach. And look, Tucker Carlson only has 7,000 paid subscribers out of millions of views, millions of people watching daily and subscribing to his YouTube channel. That's how you know, folks, these people aren't real. Remember when Candace Owens had her bot attack Well, it wasn't even an attack. Just bots were blowing up her feed, but they were blowing it up for the wrong person. Yeah, she paid the wrong company, or they sent the wrong bots, because all of a sudden her feed was just flooded with comments about other influencers. And yeah, I think it was Hassan Piker actually. They were all talking about him in her feed. You could see that the interactions were all bots, and it just made so much sense. Well, Tucker, see, subscribers are the people, or the paid subscribers. That's your real fan base. That's how you know, like, you actually have invested people. And 7,000, considering the millions of followers he has, the millions of subscribers, all that. Guys, that, my friends, is how you know it's fraudulent. So Tucker, he's got a fortune he's living from. I'm sure he's getting paid in other ways. Good Tarleson. And it's just all a grift. This idea that he could become president, that he's so popular, that tells you all you need to know. Anybody who has 1 million subscribers should have at least, at 1 million, you should have at least 20,000 to 25,000 paying. At Tucker, where he's like, I think 3 million on YouTube alone, he should easily be pushing 70 to 100,000 paid subscribers. He's not even at a tenth of that. So that, you know what that deserves? That deserves a Tucker laugh. I see your 7,000. Tucker Carlson, he only has 7,000 paid subscribers. Oh, I can't do the voices tonight. I think my voice is losing me, but that's what I feel like. I feel like a Tucker laugh at this. Guys, these guys are frauds. Alex Jones is freaking out. He's trying to come up with whatever it is. His views are going down. His live stream right now is about 200,000 on it, which that's a lot. I mean, I'd like to have 200,000, but it's not a lot for Alex. Tucker down, Megyn Kelly down, Candace down. You go across the board. People are waking up, and they're getting desperate, which is why they're doubling down on retardation. I mean, the stuff these people are saying. Trump publicly preparing a ground invasion. Publicly preparing. I can tell you, I watch Trump and follow him more than probably 99% of people. There's no public preparation. There's not even whispers of that happening. Candace, Trump is going to take away the First Amendment because of the French. I mean, these people are crazy, but thank God we might be seeing justice soon, at least for Candace, and hopefully it spreads. So we're watching them, and it's only going to get worse for them. Okay. Hope you guys enjoyed this segment. Please like and subscribe. That's the first time in a while I've led with the Grifter Report, but had to get it done. We have so much more going forward. Good news, actual news, not just calling people out, and I'm excited to get to it. But first, I do want to say hey to some people in the crowd and just make sure I'm not missing anything. But yeah, hit the like, hit the subscribe. If you guys do want to support my channel and not Tucker Carlson's, guess what? I'll give you a free month if you want to just try it out. That's right, a free month. Tucker Carlson doesn't give you a free month. You can go into the description right now, click the Patreon link, and join for free for an entire month. And just to see if you like it, you get access into Discord, where the community is amazing, and also access to all extra content I do. And by the way, now is the time to get in. Now's the time to get in, because in 9 days, I will be, the show is going to change. It's going to get better. I'm going to be more available to do it. And there's going to be a lot of announcements coming up soon, but the membership is going to get better and better and better, and a lot. What's that noise? Oh, my song went on. Why is that? That's weird. That was weird. Okay. Anyways, just letting you guys know, the membership will get much, much better. So it's a great time to get in before the changes come. So anyways, it's in the description. Click the link. Okay, let me make sure I'm not missing anybody. Nobody hit me up. And how's the crowd tonight? I don't see any bands yet, so that's good. You guys are doing good. Vin Man joined the YouTube membership. Mega ASOL, welcome, Vin. Buddy, I didn't know you weren't already a member. It's good to see you, though. Vin Man's been around for a long time. Andrew Wilson debated Alex Jones' kid tonight. I did not see it. That'll be interesting for sure. I just watched Andrew debate. Who was he debating? Oh, he debated Owen Schroyer. And I got to say, Owen Schroyer he might be a moron. Listening to that debate, Andrew Wilson versus Owen. And the sad thing is that the crowd, you could tell they were all just eating up. I mean, it was split, but you could tell there's a bunch of them eating up Owen's nonsense as well. And it made me very sad for the state of critical thinking in our country right now, because Owen didn't give receipts on anything. He just kept throwing out platitudes, and the people, like, there was a group of people just eating it up, whereas Andrew was very logical, bringing it. And so it was just like, my God, this is how they get followers. There's just people who just want to hear what they want to hear. It was pathetic. It was absolutely pathetic. American Fire. Oh, what's up, brother? You are Big Six is now Big Event or I love it. D6. All right, man. Don't worry. I'll take care of you. I'm going to take care of this right now. All right. You've been granted your moderator privileges back, even with the new account. Jasmine Crockett. We don't even have to talk about Jasmine Crockett anymore. Yeah. He says, Yuck Food Tube says, Owen was just using left talking points. He was, with no data, no logic behind any of it. And he just kept throwing out exactly what people wanted to hear. The same, like, well, what about this? What about this? And it was all just circular reasoning with no data behind it, no evidence. And it just drives me nuts. And I could tell Andrew was like, what do I even do with this? What do I even do with this guy? So anyways, it was ridiculous. Okay, let's get into this. So guys, we are getting massive momentum building for the midterms. And this is, it's interesting to find it now. We got to pay attention now because we're early. But if you notice these things early, this is the beginning of a swell. And a swell, if you know, like, that's when it pulls in, the tide pulls in and the wave builds. And we're headed for a build where this wave is going to knock back any semblance of a blue wave. SCOTUS changed everything yesterday, and the momentum is building as a result in many other ways. But that was like a shot in the arm for Trump and MAGA. But today, the Justice Department, Harmeet Dillon, came out and said it's going to enforce SCOTUS's ruling in every state with racially gerrymandered districts. Do you understand what that means? So right now, the states were determining whether or not they wanted to move. And you know, a lot of those states, even though they're Republican, they're run by rhinos. And they don't necessarily care if we win the midterms. Excuse me. So they're not going to go out of their way to do it. They're not going to go out of their way to redistrict and get these seats for the Republicans. They'll do it next year. Don't get me wrong. They'll do it before 2028, or else their people would revolt. But they can use the excuse that, oh, we've had primaries already and yada, yada, yada. And some of it's legitimate. Some of them are pretty far down the road in their elections. However, there's plenty that can still do it. And so this is huge, because this means the Justice Department is going to use the power of the federal government to go to these states and say, listen, SCOTUS just broke this down. You have to redistrict. You have to fix this. That's big difference than Trump calling them and asking nicely. So this is going to put pressure on the Republican states. And with this pressure, hopefully we can squeeze out the full 10 to 12. Well, I think it's about 19 total we can pull out, but some of those are gone for this cycle. But we could get 10 to 14 in this cycle. So push push, and this is going to help that. Well, already some states have been responding. Trump has come out and said Tennessee is going to be again redistricting immediately, getting to all 9 House seats in the state. And you know what? After what they pulled in Virginia, what they pulled in California, I don't care. If you're a Democrat living in Tennessee, too bad. Maybe you should move, because I don't care. This is war. This is ideological, political warfare, and we don't care about entertaining the left anymore. See, I used to be the nice guy, the tolerant guy who is like, oh, there's enough room for everybody's views. We'll just keep debating them in the public square. No. Then you guys turned communist, insane, wanted to mutilate children, wanted to do abortion up to the minute the child was born. And in Virginia and other places, some of them even after the baby was born. This is once you went full Looney Tunes psychopath, it became war, and there is no unifying with the left anymore. There's no tolerating them. It is we win, and we knock them down. We do everything. We play the same game they've been playing for 50 years. Now it's our turn, and this is how we need to do it. So get an extra seat there. And he says, help save our country from the radical left Democrats, their country-destroying policies, high tax, open borders, transgender mutilation, defunding police, ICE, border patrol, no voter ID, soft on crime, and so much more. Abso-freaking-lutely. And then another one, Alabama, moving to get the new congressional map drawn. Districts clearly racially drawn. SCOTUS should step in and let all states. So there is like... They're petitioning this SCOTUS right now to let them do it quickly, but that's all they're doing. Everybody, they have permission to redraw, but they got these weird districts. They could go full red as well, so they're already planning on it. And here's a great breakdown. Ned Ryan says, I think eventually Louisiana versus Calais could result in 19 seats for the GOP, but probably more like 6 in the short term. That's only because they're not motivated enough. However, this was, I believe, before the DOJ came out and said they're going to enforce this. So up to 19 seats. But think about what happened in Florida yesterday. +4 for GOP. The illegal and unconstitutional referendum in Virginia looks to be backfiring so much. I think we'll end up with old map and VA7, VA10 very much in play for GOP. People on the ground here are pissed. That's exactly what I want to hear. Smack it down. That's all to say the GOP has more than just a fighting chance of keeping the majority this fall. So we're getting real analysts now saying that this has completely changed things for the GOP. It's beautiful. And again, just like I said in my rant last night, you know what? Rhinos suck, okay? But they're still better than Democrats. So we're voting GOP. Now, this is crazy because, and I've covered this before, but it's been a while. So a good reminder how much the Democrats cheat. The U.S. Census admits that it stole 7 U.S. House seats from Republicans. Funny they never make those mistakes in liberal states. When Democrats lose despite cheating, they quintuple down and try to cheat even harder. That's true. This is from the Heritage Foundation. You may have missed it. A recent Census Bureau report revealed the Bureau made significant errors in the most recent census, overcounting the population of 8 states and undercounting the population of 6 states. Want to guess? All those 6 states red, all those 8 states overcounted blue. As a result, citizens in undercounted states like Florida didn't receive all the congressional representation to which they're entitled. You know what also we lost? Because that's not just congressional representation, that's also electoral college votes. In other words, Trump should have won by 7 more House seats or by 7 more points in 2024. That would have given him what do you win with? 312? That would have given him 319. And that's before the next census where all these people are moving. So in the next census, guys, not only are we going to get these back, we're also going to add another 10 or 11 plus the 19 from the Voting Rights Act. So we're looking at a possibility of 30 to 37 seats moved over to the GOP, to MAGA by 2030. How? And we already have won the House. So guys, listen, how do the Democrats have a future if they don't change significantly? They don't. That's the truth. They don't. This Democratic Party as it is has to die. And that either means the moderates in the party completely retake it over, or the party itself dies and a third party rises and take its place. We are at that point. Generationally, this is a generational shift. And yeah, they could still squeak out the midterms because not all these advantages are in place yet for us. We're still playing catch up, fixing their cheating. But it's going to keep happening. And if I've told you guys a million times what I think about this midterms, but I'll say this. If we win this midterms, it's over for them for a very long time. If we lose this midterms and then we still win 2028, which we should, which we have the huge advantage in 2028, we win 2028, it's still over for them for a very long time. And this is why I continue to say I believe that from 2028 forward, we will still control the country. And I actually mean the country. I mean presidency, Senate, and House, which also means Supreme Court will get more and more conservative. We control the country for 12 to 20 years because this is the kind of generational shift that doesn't come along very much. The Democrats once held the House for 40 years straight. That's what we're looking at for MAGA. So there will be no blackpilling here, my friends. Now, this is the kind of thing that drives the liberals nuts. Let's listen to my favorite New York Jew, Harry. Harry, tell me something good. Here's Harry Enton breaking down some not great trends for the Democrats.
Yeah, I think what we're seeing right now in the numbers is President Trump and the Republican Party are chipping away at the long-term advantage that Democrats have had with black voters, with African Americans. You can see it right here. Look, Trump's approval among African Americans at this point in term one, he was at 12%. You know, he's been losing ground with a lot of people. He's gaining. Wait
a second. I was told that he's lost every voter he could possibly lose. He's more unpopular than ever, but black voters like him more still? That's not supposed to happen. Not for any Republican, let alone Trump. He's racist.
Gaining ground with African Americans. He's up to 16% at this point. And you say, this isn't that big of a shift. But I will tell you, Republicans absolutely love this shift that's going on because Democrats have had such a long-term advantage. The fact that he's actually gaining ground versus where he was in term number one, this has major implications for elections down the line because Democrats, especially in a lot of these tight races, you talk about places like Georgia, right down in the South, you see this type of movement for Trump actually gaining ground. This could have major ramifications and help put Republicans over the top in a number of southern places in the midterm elections.
Yeah, you think so, Harry? Especially now that they can't gerrymander them like crazy just based on race, just based on the liberal side. I mean, because look that's still 84% of black people are Democrat or voting Democrat or hate Trump, but 16% for a Republican. I know that's crazy, but that's a lot. That's a lot. Lyndon B. Johnson was right when they passed the Civil Rights Act in 1963, and he said we just secured the black vote for 100 years. Well, we're at 60 years and they haven't lost it yet. So, but at the same time, inroads matter. Trends matter. I tell you guys all the time, polls lie. One poll can be a liar. One poll doesn't tell you much, but trends don't lie. And polling matters. The reason I show the polls is for the trends. Trends matter. And this is a trend that has continued non-stop ever since Trump came along. So look at this. This is a great post. Everything you're watching, divide the right strategy and progress. Thank you to the influencers, the FAGA friends. Suspiciously synchronized blackpilling. Yeah, you think? I feel like I'm one of the only ones out there trying to beat this back, but I'm doing what I can, is to defray the likely irreparable damage done to the Democratic Party itself. And this, my friends, is a kind of thing that you show this to a Democrat, their head might explode like the KKK guy in the old Dave Chappelle skit. ICE is more popular than Democrats from an NBC poll. Friends, that my friends is a major problem for them. What does that also tell us? That all that ICE hate, all that radicalism, it's coming from a very small portion of that party. Because the rest of them, the Democrats, if you meet most like moderate Democrats, man, they're just like, they're tired. They're like throwing in the towel. They just given up. But that crazy base, they don't let anything go. But this tells you all you need to know, that after all of that, they're still less popular than ICE. That's crazy. We're purging. We are purging the rhinos. I told you guys last night that we will fix our own party. So we don't become accelerationists. We don't go Nick Fuentes. We don't pull the Owen Schroyer nonsense. Even Tucker Carlson now. We don't play that game, because once Democrats get in power again, we're screwed. We don't let that happen. There is no uprising because they won't allow it to happen. If you vote in a communist, if you vote in a dictator, you're going to be screwed for a very long time. So we deal with the rhinos and we kill them off in primaries. That's how we do it, and that's how we need to keep doing it. Primaries matter, and I know they suck because they're hard to remember to go to, and nobody wants to go take off a Tuesday morning and spend 2 hours waiting to vote in a primary. That's why only the rhinos, we go to the primaries, and thank God they're doing it in Louisiana. Bill Cassidy is currently third, and this POS just got Casey Means kicked out for being from being Surgeon General. She would have been great. She was awesome. Maha movement. He's the reason she's not going to make it through, and Trump had to nominate a new person. But he's going to be gone soon, thanks to primaries. So we got to keep showing up. But having said that, let's go back for 1 second. Having said that, if Bill Cassidy made it through the primary in Louisiana, you still got to go vote for him over the Democrat, because the Democrats are so much worse. And Bill Cassidy is awful. He sucks. Lindsey Graham sucks. I could go through and name 50 Republicans that I cannot stand, that are absolutely awful. John Thune. But you know what? They're better than the Democrats. As bad as they are, you don't go in. You never go accelerationist. You just don't do it. It's for retards. That's how you get communism. Fetterman, the only sane Democrat left, is calling out his own party for being absolutely retarded over the shutdown. DHS employs unpaid. 1,000 TSA agents quit. 0 ICE reforms. Nation left safe. Check. As the only Democrat who wanted common sense ICE reforms but always refused to shut the agency down, this was unnecessary, a failure of Congress. They just shut down the government and got nothing out of it, because today it went through and was passed, and Democrats got nothing out of that shutdown except for almost getting the president shot, which, they love that. Things are getting so good for Republicans that even the fraudster pollster himself, which he did do really great polls for 2024, I'll give him credit, but he's gone insane in the last 6 months, shown his true colors as a total grifter. However, things have gotten so good, the momentum is building up so much that even Rich Barris is showing signs of hope. Look at this. Now, get the citizenship question on the next U.S. Census. That will definitely be done. Trump will make sure of it. Pass the SAVE Act, not up to Trump, but we're going to try. And he's going to try every bit of pressure he can. And Democrats are fooked. They cannot win without gerrymandering and counting illegal aliens. They'd lose the House and presidency for years, despite presidents largely being frauds. Guys, if Rich Barris is saying exactly what I've been telling you, and I'm the most white-pilled of them all, but Rich Barris is telling you that, despite all the dooming and blackpilling he's been doing for months now, if Barris is saying that, you better believe it's true. Because he's got to keep the grift going, and if he's wrong on this, he'll never survive. He'll never come back. Nobody will ever trust him again. They do this. The Republicans do what they need to do, and honestly, the SAVE Act will guarantee it. But even without the SAVE Act, it's an 80% chance. That's how much is being changed even without the SAVE Act. The SAVE Act, what Trump is doing is he's making the degree of difficulty of cheating, he's increasing it. And it's getting harder and harder and harder, and the Supreme Court's helping with that, especially if they shut down the mail-in ballots thing. But the SAVE Act takes it up to 97% difficult to cheat. We need the SAVE Act. We want the SAVE Act. At some point, it will be passed. I don't know when. Probably not before the midterms, the way it's going. But Trump's already said they have alternative options, and I think they're going to send ICE agents to the polls if it's not passed, which that'll be interesting. But again, even Barris is saying they lose the House and presidency for years, despite the Republicans being frauds, the rhinos. Even Rich Barris sees it. Trump is getting pissed, and this is the pressure we're talking about. I believe after we win the Iran war, which we're going to talk about here in the next segment, but after we win the Iran war and Trump is flying high with approval as the economy improves and gas prices plummet, that approval is going to be soaring up. His power is going to come back with the people, and this pressure will all of a sudden matter a lot more. The Senate Republicans right now believe they're going to lose the House, and they're okay with it because they're mostly rhinos. The rhinos are okay with it, not every senator, but there's still more rhinos than not, and they're okay with it because to them, it means they can start waiting out Trump. That's what their hope is, and that's why they're not passing the SAVE Act. It's not just John Thune, even though he is in charge of it, but he's in charge of getting it to a vote. But because a lot of the senators will still, if they actually have to vote, that's when the most pressure comes on, because then we all track their votes. But as long as it doesn't come to the floor for a vote, they can hide in the shadows and they can say, of course I support it, even though they might not. They're not doing anything to get it going. They want that. But here's Trump calling, how much abuse can the Republican Senate take from the radical left lunatics in the form of Democrat senators before they blow up, terminate the filibuster, and approve things at a record clip, including Save America Act? That would be unthinkable without the filibuster termination. Dems will do it on the first hour, their first day. Do not be stupid. Right now, they're holding this off. They're ignoring these tweets as long as they can. But I'm telling you, Trump starts gaining momentum again over the summer because of the economy. If Iran's done, they're going to have to start listening to this again. All right, and talking about that momentum, look at this. Today, job claims came in very low, and listen to what they said on CNBC.
Initial jobless claims hitting the wires at 189,000. 189,000. Wow, that is truly incredible. We're looking at levels truly that we probably haven't seen since the late 60s. This is very, very incredible.
1969 to be exact. Jobless claims, folks. That's people applying for unemployment. Lowest since 1969. I get it. Things are still expensive. You don't have to tell me. Don't blow up my chat about it. That's being worked on. That takes time. It took Reagan from passing his regulations and tax cuts. It took him 18 to 24 months before that economy really turned around. Things take time. Trump's policies are in place Now we're seeing them play out. That is massive. And it means when we get these job numbers coming in, that growth is a little lower. You know why that is? It's the illegals leaving. They're going bye-bye. Illegals don't get unemployment. They don't file for jobless claims. What this says is Americans are staying employed at records not seen since the 1960s. Guys, that's what we call an indicator, and that is a very strong indicator that the economy is improving. So just hold on. It's getting better. Trump came out, said he wants to end student loans for junk degrees. These are the kind of policies, common sense, that people love. I'm telling you, he's getting the momentum back. The mojo's back, baby. Return of the Mac. Taxpayers spend at least $60 billion a year on the 57% of degrees that lose money. With AI coming, young people can't coast on zero skill sheepskin. If Trump can pull this off in the Department of Education, massive. Oh, you want a liberal arts degree? We're not paying for that. Not only is it smart for our country, but it's also smart for that student because it's going to prevent them from going into hundreds of thousands of debt for a retarded, I'll say it again, all caps, a retarded degree. And there's a whole lot of those retarded degrees that make no sense. There's no reason to get them. They don't get you a good job. But, when you're 18 and sign a loan and the government backs it up, these kids all think like, we'll just do whatever we want. Yeah, let's end that. This is kind of common sense that's getting us there. Trump today, another thing he did, this is huge. National Foster Care Month. This is big. I want to listen to this real quick.
Sir, this is another proclamation. Your administration, particularly the First Lady, have made foster and adoptive care major priorities. This is a proclamation declaring National Foster Care Month, honoring those who have participated in foster programs, who have helped raise foster children, and speaking about the many things that your administration, including the First Lady's office, have done on that set of issues.
Yeah, it's been a big thing for the First Lady, so this is in honor of our First Lady. Well said.
So the Trump administration is pushing adoption, foster care. It is pro-family. It's trying to rebuild these policies. Again, this is the kind of thing people see and they love. This is momentum. But the next one is even bigger. Look at this. Today he signed executive order boosting access to high-quality, low-cost IRAs and offering up to $1,000 in federal matching contributions to strengthen retirement security for Americans. Guys, he's opening up matching for IRAs for Americans that don't have retirement accounts with their work. That, my friends, is MAGA. That's America first. And Trump continues to come up with these brilliant ideas for the government partners with you in building for your future. The Trump accounts for the kids, now the IRAs for retirement. This is going to be, once everybody gets a hold of this and figures this out, I believe there will come a time when that 7% or whatever that's taken out of your check to go to Social Security can start going into these and accumulate at a much bigger rate and leave you with a much better retirement while also not bankrupting our country. Social Security is the biggest Ponzi scheme that's ever been forced upon this country, except for the only other thing that's bigger Ponzi scheme is all the fraud from the welfare system that we're finding out about. But Social Security is a total Ponzi scheme. And it's breaking us. Eventually it will. It's right now it's due to go insolvent in the early 2030s. I'm certainly not going to see Social Security. This is how you replace it without having to do the huge political battle and without taking away from the people who are vested in right now. This is brilliant, and what we got to do is show the results over a few years. It starts building momentum, and then people will want to do it. And then you can announce the end of the payroll tax, but probably an opt-in to put it into these. That's what this opens up, and this could be huge. This could be absolutely huge. And let's listen to Trump as he breaks it down here.
Beginning at the start of next year, every American will be able to go to TrumpIRA.gov and open a new low-cost IRA account. You'll then be able to access the same type of retirement accounts that federal employees enjoy through the thrift savings plans, which are incredible. As part of the Federal Savers Match Program, low-income Americans will be eligible to receive up to $1,000 per year in matching funds deposited directly into their accounts. It's a great thing. For millions of Americans who lack employer-sponsored plans, this will be really revolutionary because they'll be covered. Nobody thought that was possible. For example, if a 25-year-old who is eligible for a Savers Match Program invest just $165 a month under the matching federal contributions, they will have an estimated $465,000 in their account by the time they're 65 years old. In other words, they'll be rich. And there's something awfully nice about that. But this is only the first step.
Did you hear that? So the math, if you only did $165 a month from the point you're 25, which a lot of 25-year-olds, you could do, even they could do $165 a month. That could turn into 480. Like, and I say you can't really retire on 480 grand. Don't get me wrong, but nobody's going to continue if you care about this, I should say. By the time you're 30, 35, 40, and actually have a real career, you could put in a lot more than 165 a month and accelerate that. But the point is, it gives them something when they have nothing right now. So pretty great stuff. And that Trump's opening this up to the public, because this was just the government plan before. So this is the kind of policies, though, that we want to see. It's clever. It's outside the box thinking, and it's all built on the fact of building generational wealth down the line. Trump is trying to make Americans think about the future and not just rely on the government anymore, putting the government in position to actually help Americans in a way that's not going to bankrupt our country and also not going to create entitlement culture. It's kind of the perfect medium between the two. And I got to say, the old school conservative in me would have hated this. That was more libertarian. The new MAGA conservative that has grown and just realized, like, you know what? The government's already big. We might as well use it and just be smarter about it. I'm fine with this. I think this is brilliant. And it is the kind of thing that wins elections. So well done. You can feel the momentum coming back. But again, just remember, looking forward, I mean, we are headed into really good times because the Democrats are struggling, and Trump's only going to keep building the coalition with this. We hit 2028. Again, the midterms matter, so show up, vote, let's win them. But 2028 matters more than anything. We win 2028, and they're done. They're done for 20 years. And it's because of this man and his solutions. And these policies are just going to get more and more popular, especially once Iran's over. So, and people will pay more attention. Okay. Hope you enjoyed that segment, guys. Please like and subscribe. Appreciate you all watching. Let me, as I get ready to go into the next segment, we're going to talk about Iran and where we're at. The final blow Trump is planning on Iran has been announced today. And so we're going to break that down along with all this other stuff happening. But first, I want to get into the chat. I think I saw a super chat, so I want to make sure I acknowledge it. And Trish with the $20 super chat, and she doesn't even ask. She doesn't even say anything. Just nice and quiet and supporting the channel. Well, thank you, Trish. I greatly appreciate you, and your support means a lot to me. So thank you very much. And Ray Sandoval gifted 5 memberships to the YouTube membership. So thank you for that, Ray. For everybody who got a new membership, you guys can now watch all the members' lives on YouTube. So you get access to more content. Unfortunately, you don't get access to the Discord group, but that's in the Patreon. So if you like the extra content, you want more, then you're going to want to go to Patreon, and you can get a free month there as well. So All right. Let me see if I was tagged in anything. I don't want to miss that. Sav Smile says, just found your channel. I'm enjoying the content. Thank you, Savs. I'm glad you found it. And, listen, I'll tell you what, I'm opinionated. I really am. But I love people, and I love this president. I love this country, and I believe we're headed in the right direction, and I'm just going to stick by that. And my whole point here is that almost everything we see, I've got 25 years of following politics and studying history, studying political history, and studying theology. I used to be a minister. But all that to say, with my experience, I just see through the grift. I see the real narratives, what's out there. I'm a research expert, and I just want to get the truth out there. Obviously, as I see it, some people disagree, but as long as you're respectful, I don't mind disagreements. I will just have to prove to you I'm right, or you can prove to me I'm not, and I will follow the evidence if you can prove it. Christina Abbott with a $7 donation. Thank you, Christina. It's good to have you back. I feel like it's been a while since I've seen you. So welcome back, Christina, unless you've been watching the shadows, but it's good to have you. Doc No says, getting started saving is the hardest thing to do. Trump's plan helps overcome that. Amen. He makes it easy, and that's what you have to do for young people. You have to make it easy and make it make a lot of sense. If you do that, then they'll start saving earlier, and then it's a lot easier. Absolutely. Let's see. Shogun, you're going to bed? You ditching me? That's all right, buddy. I know it's late for you over in Washington where it's 3 hours earlier. You wuss. Was it 9 o'clock there? Jeez Louise, man. You Asians go to bed so early. You Seahawks fans go to bed so early. Bunch of babies. You even stay up and watch your team on Sunday night? Okay. I'm sorry, Shogun. You know I love you. That's why you're one of my mods. I can get away with that stuff with you. Let's see here. You were away, Christina. Well, I hope it was a good trip. I really do. There will be a book on Trump's memes in 30 years. Okay. Shogun, you got to wake up at 2:30? What are you doing? That's ridiculous. Well, I still got Nick Majors, who's a real trooper. Shogun, you should just forsake all sleep like I do when I do these lives and wake up in the morning. That's what called being a man. Okay. Toe cramps here as well. All right. Still got some mods in the house. All right, Shogun, your little weak Seahawk Asian butt can leave. God bless you. What are you waking up at 2:30 for? What are you, a cab driver? What are you doing, like, robocalls for India? Who wakes up at 2:30 for work? That's crazy. I just don't understand that. That is wild. I don't get that. I thought you had a real job. I didn't know like that you were taking the Chinese customer service calls. I didn't know that's what you did. Bobby Girl says, just found you. Thanks for the awesome content. You're so welcome. Thank you for wanting to watch me and my craziness. I don't. He says I have a real job. Sure you do. Sure you do, Shogun. Getting up at 2:30 is not a real job. All right. Unless you're a prostitute, which, technically don't know how I feel about that. Gotta say. Uncle Andy worked 2:30 to 10 when you were in college. Where were you? At a wood mill? I just like to tease you guys. I don't. I'm sorry. I'm just having fun with my mods. I got to give you guys a hard time. For the rest of you guys, just know, there is actual news coming up in just a second. All right. Just I just had to make fun of. Am I promoting your OF account? Well, is that what you're working on? Okay. Well, I guess in that case it makes sense. There's a lot of scary people on at 2:30 a.m. though, bro. Make sure you don't let your address out there. You don't want those subscribers to track you down. 2:30 a.m. Can't believe that. Can you at least tell me what industry you're in, so I don't think you're a sex worker? Because I have my thoughts. I have my suspicions. You yeah, the freaks come out at night, exactly. Oh man. Yeah, I'm not accepting I'm not accepting your what's it called? Your sponsorship money, okay? Oh, you're in the airline industry. Okay, Shogun. Well, now it all makes sense. You're a stewardess. Okay. I didn't know they still, I don't mean to be insensitive by calling you that, but let's just be honest. That's what you are. It's okay. It's okay. Get those peanuts. Get some sleep, so you can make sure that they have their, their pretzels and peanuts. And I hope you get a tip. Accounting. Oh, hold on a second. You're telling me you're an Asian Seahawks fan and you're an accountant? I rest my case. Everything makes sense now. Everything makes sense. You couldn't be more obvious, could you? You couldn't be more creative, could you, Shogun? You just have to live those stereotypes, huh, brother? live those stereotypes. Doji Rules with the $5 donation says, I've been watching for a few weeks now. Love the content. Watching Justice Clarence Thomas unraveling the Dems is amazing. Oh yeah, it really is. I loved that last night. That was great. Shogun says I use AI to do the math. Well, now you are smart then. I'll give you that. You're very smart. That's how you're supposed to do it. Okay, I gotta get into the news. I could do this all night. I could do this all night. Shogun, you're too easy of a target. Go to sleep, Show. Go to sleep. At least since you're Asian, your eyes don't have to do much shutting. They're already there. But I'm sorry. This is not a PC show. Okay, if that offends you, I'm sorry. I know Shogun's not offended. He lets me say that to him all the time. Okay, before I get in trouble, let's go on. All right. Whoo, and a whoo. Should I do the Tucker laugh? Oh, shut those eyes. Oh. Okay. Anyways, as we were saying, okay, Iran. We're getting into Iran. It's crazy, guys. Okay, so today, the CENTCOM commander came to Trump and was like, we have a plan for a final blow. Hypersonic Dark Eagle missiles, by the way, these were the missiles they said that Iran was going to hit us with. Remember that never happened? Yeah, just like I said, it would never happen. But anyways, the super duper hypersonic special ed missiles that Iran was hiding deep down in caves that they were going to unleash upon us never happened. That's kind of funny. So the Dark Eagle missiles, bomber surging, carrier stacked. POTUS says they're sitting in a cave. They want to deal badly. Here's Jesse. We'll play the first couple minutes of Jesse breaking it down.
Fox News alert, it's decision time. CENTCOM Commander Admiral Brad Cooper has just briefed the president in the Situation Room about what could be the final blow. The U.S. military is preparing for a short and powerful wave of strikes. Targets include the enemy's remaining military assets, leadership, and infrastructure.
Iran is proving to be very stubborn. The talks seem like they are stalled. Are you getting antsy to break the ceasefire?
Well, I mean, I don't know what stubborn is because really nobody knows what the talks are except myself and a couple of other people. They want to make a deal badly.
In case the Iranians needed a little nudge,
you hear when he says they want to make a deal badly? You know what he's talking about. So the IRGC has come in and taken over. They were already in charge, but they've really cracked down. And there's a sect of leaders in the other part of the government that are trying to make a deal with Trump, but the IRGC is not letting them. And that's what Trump's talking about. So when he says they want to make a deal bad, he's not lying. And that's what all the morons out there in the media keep saying. Trump's lying. He keeps saying there's going to be a deal. That's because there is a group in Iran trying to make a deal, but they're currently on house arrest by the IRGC. So what did Trump just say? Or not Trump, but what Jesse just announced they're planning? A final strike at the military targets, leaders, and infrastructure. In other words, it's going to be to try and decapitate the IRGC. And so they've been loading up this during the ceasefire. Trump's got 3 aircraft carriers there now. So when this happens, it's going to be unleashing holy hell upon Iran while their economy is currently crashing as well. So this is they're building up for the final blow.
Pentagon's contemplating bringing a brand new weapon to the battlefield, the mother of all hypersonics, the Dark Eagle. This
missile is awesome. I think there's only 8 of them at all that we even have.
It can hit targets 2,000 miles away. The enemy's last ballistic missile launchers are in the crosshairs. B-1 bombers have been surging into the region, and they can be armed with up to 5,000 pounds of hypersonics. It's a big payload. We're about to hit day 60 of the war. And if we're going by the book, and if you're asking Congress, that means the deadline for Operation Epic Fury expires tomorrow. But Trump could also do what Clinton and Obama did and ignore Congress and keep firing.
So Jesse's wrong there. And Trump played it masterfully because the ceasefire stopped the operation. And so that timeline has stopped. And so now he has a case. If Congress comes to him and is like, you had your 60 days, the war powers resolution is expired now you have to get a war declaration. If Trump uses there's a ceasefire. This hasn't been 60 days. Now we might do another one. That's Trump. That was smart of them to do. So Jesse missed that, but just watch how it all plays out, especially if we go on for a few days instead of just 1 or 2.
The Secretary of War says technically we paused the clock 2 weeks ago.
Is the president intending to either seek congressional authorization for the war in Iran or send us the legally required certification that he needs an additional 30 days to remove U.S. forces?
We are in a ceasefire right now, which our understanding means the 60-day clock pauses or stops in a ceasefire.
If Kane's right, that means Trump has 24 hours. The president's being presented with options. On top of airstrikes, Admiral Cooper also reportedly briefed the president on seizing the Strait, a ground assault on the coastline and strategic islands, which would be a shame for Iran because today they're celebrating Persian Gulf Day. Here's a quote from the gay Ayatollah.
From the gay Ayatollah. Anyways, I love how they do that. Jesse's so good. All right. He's one of the only things worth still watching on Fox News, Jesse and Gutfeld. Anyways, we're building up for this. It looks like we're positioned. So the ceasefire, what did the ceasefire accomplish? Well, it actually did give them an opportunity to make a deal. And I do think Trump was like, that was his number one. I hope they do this. I really do. It gave time. The blockade, we put the blockade in place. We've been wearing down their oil infrastructure. We've been crushing their economy, and we've also been restocking and targeting everybody over there in this time. In the meantime, Trump was just like, hey, I'm bored. So he gets Lebanon and Israel to sign to do a ceasefire as well and get Lebanon to start pushing Hezbollah out. It's just incredible stuff. And again, does anybody following this is like, how can anybody say we're losing this? It's insane. But so this is, everything he just said is pretty epic. We're ready. We might see another couple days just like the first 3. But Trump was asked about it today, and he gave some really poignant comments. So I want to share what he had to say about this.
So when you say about they say that I do the same, I don't do the same. I'm trying to save that country in a certain way. And
very interesting thing for him to say. Okay, I'm trying to save this country in a way. If you guys been tracking the connection with City of London that we talk about all the time on this channel, and that Promethean Action and others have talked about, it makes absolute sense talking about saving the country. Now, you could also say it's just saving them from the Ayatollahs or saving them from the IRGC. 100%. You can say all that. But the reason this is impacting Europe so much and Europe's not getting involved when they clearly, if they all got involved, it'd probably move a little bit faster. There's a reason they're not, and that's the big tell to me, that it really is about freeing them from that connection to the City of London. But anyways, we already listened to that on the Jesse clip. This was interesting, though. So Van Susteren tried to corner Trump, and this has been there's been a psyop going on the last couple of weeks that Trump is going to cave on the nuclear aspect. So I just wanted to play this to let you hear what he has to say about that.
The second thing is that Steve Witkoff told me on this show is that the United States offered Iran to give them enriched uranium so that for medical and powerful purposes, free, if they would give up their nuclear program. Wouldn't cost them a dime, and they declined that, which to me suggested that they really didn't want a deal.
Well, and maybe it wasn't a very serious offer, because I wouldn't have approved that. Yeah, I wouldn't have. I'm not giving them anything. I wouldn't have approved that. They're going to either have a nuclear weapon or they're not. And if they're not, they're in big trouble. Big. Even bigger than they are right now.
So that was about as authoritative as he's been, that they won't allow uranium in there for anything. Because she was saying that Witkoff proposed maybe uranium for medical purposes, and Trump says no. So just wanted to put that to rest, because that's going out there. Now, Besant, Big Gay Patton, as Tom Luongo calls him, just killing it as the general on the financial side of the war, and arguably the most important part of the war. But amid the impact of economic fury, Iran's currency has hit an all-time low. That, my friends, means hyperinflation is about to hit. Hyperinflation, and that's a quick way to get the people to revolt. Because when your bread all of a sudden went from $3 to $200, you're done. And so this will get the people out in the streets, and we could possibly see. Now, last night I showed a report coming out of Iran that their leadership is getting very worried about these protests starting to build up and the unrest. So this is working. The blockade is working brilliantly, and Besant shutting down all their financial connections everywhere else is working. And the economy is about to collapse. Iranian people deserve a new era with the corrupt and shambolic Iranian regime cannot provide. With their oil industry closing, their currency plummeting, it's past time for the Iranian regime to concede. The people of Iran deserve much better than the ruins of their current regime can provide. Now listen to his tone here. With their oil industry closing, their currency plummeting. That's a warning shot. That's saying you guys are done. And we're putting you on blast. It's time. You're done. You're defeated. You're beaten. That's this language he's using right here, which is huge. And here's the real being charted to well, you could just see versus the U.S. dollar. So it's getting weaker and weaker. This is funny. Iran will remove the U.S. blockade by military force. So this is a threat to the U.S. We're still waiting to see this kind of stuff happen. They just really can't do it. But Tom Luongo trolling him. But I thought Iran was in control of the strait. That's what we've been told nonstop. Iran's actually in control of the state. Trump's in a quagmire. Meanwhile, they're telling us they're going to attack us. So there you go. That just goes straight to the source. Interesting stuff. Again, this is the kind of stuff that is important to understand the full context of what's going on in this war and the real effects it's having. But Israel used their Iron Dome to protect the UAE. Isn't that interesting? Israel used to be enemies with all these countries. And now Israel is actually jumping in to defend these other Muslim countries from Iran. This is a new world we're starting to live in, guys. The Abraham Accords are working and they're spreading, and Trump's impact on the Middle East is generational. It's just changing things going forward. Turkey caught as a middleman with a lot of this money going through in Iran. So Turkey was laundering Iranian oil money through their banks. When Obama cut Iran out of SWIFT in 2011, Turkey changed its banking rules to allow gold to be a bank asset held at par. This story of Erdogan's son being the bagman for this came out in the aftermath of the Su-24 shoot down, the coup attempt on Erdogan himself. Explicitly reported then. Now Russia's playing cagey by tying it to ISIS, but ISIS is London IRGC axis of resistance. True. All of these terrorist cells being funded through Iran, that money comes from the City of London banking system, the cabal, and it's funneled through Turkey, Iran to the terrorists. So just more proof coming out here. And we'll continue to follow this because Turkey has been – there's a big psyop going around that we're actually planning on fighting Turkey. There's no way. Turkey is too connected to I believe it is actually part of the EU. I could be wrong on that. Maybe that's part of NATO, I'm thinking. But anyways, it's part of an alliance that we just can't do that. But Turkey will be exposed, and that'll be good for everybody if this continues, as Trump is also crushing Europe through all this. Now, UAE not only has jumped out of OPEC, it's completely breaking with the Gulf. They're considering freezing their Arab League membership and leaving the Organization of Islamic Cooperation 2 days after OPEC. It says, what do you expect after a member of these organizations bombed the hell out of them and Saudi showed little solidarity? This indicates not only a rift in the region, but UAE positioning itself as a global power. So UAE, again, can put a bunch of oil on the markets, which is very good for us, get those oil prices down. But this whole cabal, or people call it a mafia, cartel of the oil with OPEC and the Middle East in general is just breaking apart. All these nations are choosing sovereignty, which by choosing sovereignty, it just gives them so many more options, and it gives us more options to deal with them, to trade with them, to have peace with them. It's amazing. And all of this is happening because of the Iran war. It's just the effects of this war are unbelievable. They're so good. They're so positive. Unless you're Europe or China, they're extremely positive. And just wait till it's over and the whole world order is reset, because Europe is going to be weaker than ever. There's going to be more oil on the market than ever. China's weaker. Strait of Hormuz will flow freely. Panama will flow freely. The Strait over in Malaysia will flow freely. All of a sudden, we have the Western Hemisphere locked down more because Trump's going to knock out Cuba after this, and it's going to take 30 seconds. As soon as we pay attention to Cuba, it's going to be over. So that and then where's the grip in here? We're already working on the cartels, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit here, in Mexico. And so the Dawn Road Doctrine is all coming to be, and Iran is the center of just weakening our enemies so much. It's a beautiful thing to behold. And the fact he's doing it, we're not even at day 60 yet, it's kind of miraculous. And this is why there's such a major psyop. Because what other war in history, maybe one of you, older people older than me, I'm 42, but could remember this because I sure can't. What other skirmish in history did the U.S. get involved in, and after only 2 months or less than 2 months, where we're all being called a quagmire, where people saying that was already a defeat? I sure can't remember it. They didn't do it with Iraq, Afghanistan. They sure didn't do it with the Gulf War. I know they didn't do it with Vietnam. They didn't do it. It's but now the psyop is that we've lost after 60 days. It's over. We're screwed. It's all falling apart. Yeah, that, my friends, is the signal of how terrified they are about how well this is actually going. Now, one of the things I keep getting every time I bring this up is gas prices. I'm paying the most I ever have. And I just wanted to prove to you guys once and for all that you're not. Average gas prices under the last 3 presidents. Obama, average price $2.96. Average price under Biden, $3.45. Average price under Trump, including the 2 months in Iran, $2.65. So I'm sorry, gas prices have been higher, and Trump, again, as soon as Iran's over, it's going to plummet again because that's what Trump does. I mean, this is significant. This is a full 10% lower than Obama, he had the Great Recession happen on his watch, which that means oil plummeted because nobody could spend any money. Businesses were crashing. The economy was crashing. And even with that, Obama's gas prices were hovered at 3 the whole time. Biden, obviously, we all just lived through that, so we don't need to relitigate it. But the point is that we have a man who's going to get these prices down again. So, this is nationwide pricing, okay? So if you're like, oh, it's different in my state, I get it. That's because of taxes. Take it up with your governor. Take it up with, if you live in a blue state and you're run by retards, yeah, you're paying a lot more than this. So, but this is a national average. Okay. One of the reasons our oil is a little higher too is because of this. Now, Indiana is run by rhinos, bad rhinos, deep state rhinos, who a lot of them have ties to London. It's crazy when you actually research it. Indiana, why does that keep coming up? Mike Pence, Indiana, GOP majority blocked redistricting in Indiana, BP refinery dispute, Indiana. Most of the major employers in Indiana are City of London lowlights. Now you know where the oil markets are trading as if the UAE leaving OPEC will raise oil prices rather than lower them. That's why someone has moved. RBOB gasoline futures up 50 cents a gallon in the past week. It's all speculation. That's why our prices are so high right now. And a lot of it has to do with what's going on in this Midwest area right now with these refineries. That's why Iran's FM Arghachi is playing up to the media about the Strait today, while in actuality, Iranian tankers are en masse trying to run the U.S. Navy blockade. Charles is still here in the U.S. He says, hint, once Charles is gone, which he just left, get ready. It's about to ramp up again. By the way, BP is British Petroleum. That's the company that was in Iran. BP, the Brits came in, the UK came in, City of London came in, took it over, and renamed it British Petroleum. That was Iranian oil originally. White House granted a permit for crude oil and petroleum transports between U.S. and Canada. U.S. is actively rewiring its energy supply chain in real time, away from the Gulf toward Western Hemisphere. Canada, Venezuela, domestic production, maps changing faster than the headlines. Trump is making so many moves to get oil down. Just wait. Oil's like 107 a barrel right now, 105 a barrel, somewhere up there. And our prices nationwide are like 360, 375. That's high, right? Especially under Trump. Wait. Just wait. Once Iran's over, oil's going to go down so fast. And I still believe by the end of the year, oil will be around 40 to 50 a barrel by the end of 2026. 40 or 50 a barrel, which means you're going to be paying in most places right around $2 a gallon. And that, my friends, will be a massive boost to the economy. And if Trump pulls it off in time before the midterms, gas gets down around 2, and there's no more of this stuff going on, oh man, that'll be another thing that just is excellent for the midterms. So, guys, it's all coming together. Don't listen to the doomers. Iran, we're building up. We have plans. We're going to take this out. We're going to win this. Trump is comfy AF. He's not worried at all. And the oil problem, this, honestly, the Strait of Hormuz, Iran. So along with all the stuff that's happened with it, foreign, okay, the way it's impacted Europe, the way it's impacted China, the way it's kind of brought the Middle East, other countries closer to us. All these good things have happened, right? And there's a lot more, but all these good things have happened. But also, the Iran war, if this didn't happen, if the Strait of Hormuz hadn't been closed, we never would have gotten the boost to our exports as we did for natural gas and oil. A lot of these, because it's like emergency situation right now, a lot of these solutions wouldn't have been occurring. So you also factor that in, the new wealth that's come here, because also a lot of people dealing with us now to get their oil, they're not going to want to go back to the strait. They're like, screw those guys. That's crazy over there. I don't want to mess with that. I'm just going to keep coming back to the U.S. get the oil. So now we just got a lot more richer for a long time because of this Iran war as well. So all these factors have to be considered when we think about whether this was worth it or not. And that's all happened in less than 2 months, guys. This Iran war is going to be looked at someday. It's too soon right now. There's too many loud voices on the black pill side. But someday we're going to look back and we're going to look at this as one of the smartest military moves ever made, and also one of the most effective. I believe it's going to go down as one of the greatest offensive military operations in history. So we'll wait and see if I'm right, but I sure feel good about it the more I study this. But okay, if you guys like that, please like, subscribe. I appreciate the support for the channel. I still have another segment coming up about the DOJ ramping things up for arrests and accountability. It is the Todd Blanche, Kash Patel team is just going nuts. Plus Harmeet Dillon too. They are really ramping things up. So we're going to talk about that in a minute, but I do want to get into the chat for anything I missed. I thought I saw a couple people tag me, so I want to see if I can find it. Maybe not. Maybe you guys are just talking amongst yourselves and are mad at me because I was so mean to Shogun earlier. But let's see here. Trump broke OPEC. Yep, he did. I agree with you on that. Egg prices are better. Egg prices are way down here. Way down here. Trish says, President Trump's dismantling these horrible entities one by one. Is there any wonder why the Democrats running around with their hair on fire? Absolutely not. Cardiac says $3.99 here in NC near Charlotte. I am also near Charlotte, and it's $3.75 where I'm at. So, Cass Inc. says, did I hear anything about a secret pipeline between Canada and U.S.? Yes, I did. And I believe this is part of that. This right here on the screen. Straight up Trump. Blanche from the Golden Girls is the best. I love it. I am a meanie. That's true. All right. Well, let's just get into the next segment then, because I got a lot. This is another big segment, but not as big as the last one. So, well, Sierra says, going to say it again, failed attempts of arrest were to weed out who they need to get rid of. I do think that was part of it for sure, and we're going to actually talk about that here. Okay. This is very interesting. So talking about what's going on with the FBI, DOJ, where we're at, Dan Bongino had this pretty epic interview with Hannity this week, and I played quite a lot of clips last night, but I wanted to break down this one that he says. So Bongino is given a list of names to rate 1 to 10, 10 being absolute traitors to America. The only name he didn't give an answer to is Christopher Wray. That was the former FBI director before Kash. Comey, he rated as a 10, traitor. Andrew McCabe, 10. Peter Strzok, 10. Brennan, 10. Yeah, didn't need Bongino to tell me that one, but Clapper, 10. And then he said on Chris Wray, the jury's still out, which is very interesting. Coincidentally enough, when Maria Bartiromo criticized President Trump for not firing Christopher Wray in 2024, Trump replied, well, I don't know. Let's see what the final judgment is. He says, I've been saying it for years, don't sleep on Wray. How do you think those burn bags got into Kash Patel and D&I Gilbert's hands? So the question is, was Chris Wray a white hat the whole time, operating behind the scenes during the Biden administration, saving documents and so on and so forth? I don't know. We are going to find out. Okay. We're going to watch and see. But maybe he was a sleeper. So it's just very interesting how Bongino said that. Okay, this came out today. So we're getting a lot of exposure. Indictments like SPLC, arrests are picking up. Comey, the warrants out for his arrest right now. All this is ramping up. Well, they're also exposing what the Biden and Obama administrations did. And this is crazy. So Besant says, today the task force to eradicate Christian bias published a report detailing numerous Biden administration prosecutions, policies, and practices demonstrated anti-Christian bias throughout the federal government. Treasury will continue to utilize its authority to end the weaponization of government in accordance with POTUS executive order and work closely with Justice Department. Sure, we apply law fairly and consistently, protect the rights of all Americans to freely practice their faith. I love this, but at the same time, it's a big deal to that they're outing the Biden administration for actively going just against Christians. So cannot wait to see what more comes out of this, because as a Christian, I'd like to see justice. DOJ prosecutors in Virginia are pursuing separate charges against James Comey for allegedly leaking classified info. Blanche's DOJ, not satisfied with just 8647 recent weeks, received NatSec, national security probe that stalled out last year. The Comey investigation, we've been told now that it was going on for 10 months. And so they just nabbed him for the very public outcry of threatening the president because of his post 8647, right? But it's pretty clear now that that was just to get him in. That was just to make the headlines. The real stuff they're getting against Comey is coming now. I mean, the separate charges for allegedly leaking classified info, I believe they got that, guys. So they made the headline, got everybody talking about it, but now we're getting the real stuff. And now I can say pretty safely, I feel like Comey's going to jail. And I'm very excited about that. Very, very excited about that. We have more coming out about people breaking down what Bondi did. And this is very interesting. So look at this. The Trump Justice Department dropped 23,000 criminal investigations in the shift to immigration. Who do you think those 23,000 criminal investigations were? Probably a bunch of people who the Biden administration was just targeting. So dropped those and ramped up the immigration enforcement. And look at this. So district courts, 25% rule in favor of Trump. Appeals, 51%. But the Supreme Court, 88%. That's all on Bondi's watch. So she was able to get through all these district courts and get the Supreme Court to rule for Trump 88% of the time. That's pretty massive, and overturned a lot of these things, also winning appeals courts' rights. So, guys, everybody's harping on Bondi. She did a lot of good stuff. Unprecedented purge. Department of Justice fired more than 100 immigration judges and hired 140 new ones to replace them. So she also purged the immigration system and set it up to work much better for Trump. It says she may not have been exciting, but she laid useful groundwork to use for the next several years. Just like we were saying, and now you've seen the data on it. X22 says people calling Bondi a failure misunderstand what she did. Purged disloyal prosecutors, redirected investigations, built airtight cases. Do not underestimate that. That was major at the Supreme Court level. Secured nearly unbroken Supreme Court victories, brought murder rates to century lows. She was the breaching charge. Now Blanche delivering the kill shots. Just like I said, just like we said when it first came out. It's that's what it's looking like, and very good. Speaking of the immigration, though, this Immigration Customs Enforcement did this today, which is hilarious. They said everyone's self-deportation process is different. You may want to let your employer, your friends, and your family know you're leaving. You may want to pack belongings or make living arrangements for the next phase of your journey. Remember, if ICE officials arrest you, you may not have an opportunity to do these things. Learn your options on the self-deportation webpage. They make it sound like you're going on a trip. Like it's a tourist trip going on a vacation. That's hilarious, man. The people running the social media accounts for the executive branch are so good. This is just amazing stuff, and it just made me laugh. Okay, this is huge. So DOJ just indicted the governor of Sinaloa in Mexico, along with 9 other current and former Mexican officials on drug trafficking and weapons-related charges. Here is the cleanup, taking out Mexico and the cartels. This move represents direct and aggressive escalation by Washington against the highest levels of Mexican state apparatus. Indictments detail systemic entanglement between regional Morena governance and cartel operations, effectively labeling Sinaloa state leadership a criminal enterprise under U.S. law. Let me read that again. Labeling the Sinaloa state leadership a criminal enterprise under U.S. law. Guys, that is huge. We're taking out the cartels. Trump is not messing around. It's not enough anymore to block the border. Trump is going to end the cartels. This is going to be huge. And I believe once Iran's over, this will ramp up significantly. And honestly, this isn't going to be that hard. It's just going to take major focus for a short period of time. But this is huge. Legal assault by the DOJ decapitates political leadership of one of Mexico's most strategically sensitive states at a moment of national fragility. End to the era of diplomatic shielding for Mexican officials. Move is designed to force a confrontation within the Sheinbaum administration, leaving Mexico City with zero room to maneuver between domestic political alliances and threat of total diplomatic isolation. In other words, take care of it. Deal with the cartels, knock this crap off, or we will, and we will basically make sure you guys, our political alliance with you is over until you're done, until you're gone. That's huge. That's a big threat. Fallout will be immediate and chaotic. Beyond the legal proceedings, indictments serve as precursor to broader sanctions and likely reclassification of Mexican security cooperation. For the Mexican government, the era of managed stability in Sinaloa is over. Sheinbaum is now facing a direct challenge to state legitimacy and physical security vacuum that will likely trigger a violent internal restructuring of cartel hierarchies and government control. In other words, it's going to purge the cartels out of the government. This is massive, okay? The Trump administration is basically forcing the Mexican government to deal with the cartels and purge them, or else. That's what's happening. So this is huge. And again, just a sign of our DOJ for the last year under Bondi was just getting ramped up and fixing itself. And Todd Blanche now is wielding the weapon that she left behind. It's pretty obvious. So this is going to keep picking up. And I'm here for it, but it's also going to pick up here. So Sean Hannity talking to Solomon. We'll just play the clip real quick from Bongino on Solomon.
I'm going to follow what more John Solomon says. There's 4 more crossfire hurricanes. You probably know way more about it than I do, and he's beginning to break it, and it will break soon. I'm going to follow
4 more crossfire hurricane high-level revelations breaking soon. So is that going to be Tulsi coming out and dropping the bomb? I don't know. But 4 more. Guys, they're waking up the people so that the people accept what happens after. That's what's coming. That's why we're getting all the information first. We're getting this stuff weeded out first, just like Chuck Grassley did with Uranium One this week. We're getting all this out little by little, drip it out so the people have time to process it, and then the DOJ, when they make their moves, everybody's wanting it. That's genius. And everything, again, it's so important to recognize how smart everybody who thinks the Trump administration's screwing up, everybody who thinks they're dragging their feet, everybody who is like they're failing because they're too focused on other dumb things, or Trump's too proud, or Trump's too stupid, or he's got bad AIDS. They're all retarded. It's all blackpilling. It's all psyops. The Trump administration is methodically building everything up, putting everything in place to make moves. They're playing chess when everybody else is playing checkers. And that, my friends, is what's happening. And we're starting to see the results, and it's only going to pick up from here. Year 1 was about getting everything into place. The policies for the government, the policies for the economy, getting the ball rolling on exposure, getting stuff out there, exposing the fraud. It was everything, and then purging the bureaucracies and restaffing them. Now in year 2, it started right, was January 3rd or something when we did Venezuela. It was right at the beginning of the year. Year 2 was start making all of our foreign policy moves, all of our military moves, wipe it out. And you see how fast Trump's moving. And now we're heading into May, tomorrow, May 1st. It's May 1st now here on the East Coast. May Day. The ramping up of justice is starting here, the accountability. Trump has positioned it all, timed it all, whereas Iran ends here in the next few weeks. The economy starts booming. Accountability is happening, which makes MAGA happy. And all of this momentum carries into the midterms. So it's brilliant watching it. It doesn't mean it'll all work perfect because guess what? The enemy gets a vote. They can punch. But they're losing, and they're going to keep losing badly. Doesn't mean they won't get a little battle here and there. But this is just what we're seeing is masterful, how they're pulling all this off. And it is happening. Trump is... he's fulfilling all his promises. So, all right, guys, if you like that segment, please hit the like, hit subscribe. Thank you again for watching. I want to cut a couple quick things real quick, and then I'll get into the chat because I just have a couple things left here. And these are just quick hits, but Anna Paulina Luna is doing some exposure of her own from classified files, but she posted a photo of Tesla and his free energy magnifying transmitter. Look at that. Tesla. With zero caption. Chairwoman of Task Force of Declassification of Federal Secrets. Her silent post sparking huge questions about zero-point energy and suppressed tech. Tesla, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. So are we going to get energy breakthroughs because of this? I don't know, but it is interesting. But this one really got me. So Anna Paulina on UFOs says, I wouldn't call them aliens. You'll find out soon. I don't call them aliens. I use the term interdimensional beings. I don't know what these things are you're using. Listen, guys, they're demons. That's like I've said all along. And this is just the proof of it. As a Bible-believing Christian, I don't believe in aliens. And I still have not seen any evidence for it, at least not planetary aliens. But I do believe in other beings, and I believe in spiritual beings. And this is exactly what I believe feeds into that the whole time. So we're going to see more evidence of this, and I believe we're about to get some disclosure. But even Trump said it's not going to be exactly what you thought it is. So, and finally, I wanted to share this post because I thought it was good. Things are getting legit wild. Notice that even if grudgingly, things keep trending in our direction on the larger arc of the story. Did you think we'd ever see some of the amazing things that have transpired in the last 15 months? Look, if you can't see it by now, I don't know what to tell you. It's clear as day from where I'm sitting. I completely agree with that statement. I suspect over the course of the next few months, it's going to get increasingly obvious to everyone but the worst of the worst TDS zombies. Most dedicated among them will have extremely unpleasant experience watching all of us cheer the destruction of everything they believe is true. 100%. The awakening's happening. We're winning. And I think it's all clear as day. I really do. And I'll keep sharing nonstop on all this stuff. All right, guys. Let me get into the chat before I leave. But again, please hit the like, hit the subscribe. Think about joining and supporting the channel. This channel will be growing here soon. I'll be giving it a lot more time and effort here soon. So it'll be better for you guys. So if you want to consider supporting it, get a free month, try it out. The membership, it's in the description. Click the Patreon link, get a free month, see how you like it. And then after that, you can decide if you want to support. Okay, lots of stuff in here, guys. Man, did I miss anything here? I did. I missed a super chat. American Granny, welcome to the membership on YouTube. Now you get all the members live, so welcome and thank you for your support. America First at the $2 donation says an hour and a half south of Charlotte, Prosperity, South Carolina. All right, so not too far from me, probably about 2 hours from me. So that's awesome. I don't want to tell exactly where I'm at for obvious reasons, I would hope. Kev says, we have the technology to power everything from the air around us. It needs to finally go public so we can use it. That would be crazy. I keep hearing these things. I do look forward to the day they're finally proven. And we get to use it. Seth says, why do people think we can't focus at home while we're doing things abroad? That makes no sense to me. Or are people just stupid? It's a psyop. I hate that word is overused, but it is. It's because there's not a better word for it right now. It's a narrative that the media and the operatives use to piss people off. So Trump is obviously doing stuff at home at the same time. Now, there are such a thing as resources. So if we are doing a bunch abroad, it'll just slow things down a little bit at home. But it's not that people are stupid. It's that the people they trust and listen to are lying to them. I call out the grifters all the time because I want people to see how fraudulent they are so they don't listen to them anymore. Or they at least have more information when they do listen to them. But we obviously can focus on home while we're doing stuff abroad. Many presidents have. But that's the narrative with Trump because he is being so successful. They're trying to find anything they can to not give him credit. So they ignore what he does. They say he's only doing stuff abroad. They say he's getting us into wars and lying to us. And it's all psyops, man. You honestly, like, once you see it, you can't unsee it. Once you see the truth and you see how they talk and how many there are, this is why I do all my research going direct to source or pulling from sources that I've built trust with me over the years. But you notice I rarely go to like Washington Post or New York Times, stories like that. I only usually do it to say like, hey, look who's catching up. Now they have to report this. But it's you have to be good at research or find somebody you trust to actually get you information. It takes time. It takes effort. And I spent a lot of time doing this because I'm a psychopath who's addicted to it. I have been since I was like 17 years old. I love it. I can't get enough. But so this show is like my outlet. And, but I try to show receipts. I do my best to show you guys why I think what I think so that you guys can see why I've gotten my conclusions. Doesn't mean I'm always right. Doesn't mean I don't miss stuff, but I try hard as hell not to. And when I get called out or when I actually do miss something, I learn and I admit it. And that's the difference. That's what I try to do different. But as far as that psyop, though, of course we can fight a war and still do stuff at home. It is stupid. It's a stupid psyop, and your questioning it is part of that. Listen, when somebody is parroting a narrative that's not common sense, 99% of the time it's a psyop. I did not get to watch Susan Kokinda on PBD yet, but I thought it's awesome that she's on there, and this is getting out there. By the way, there is a group trying to take down Promethean Action, saying that Susan Kokinda and them are actually closet Marxists and the distraction is City of London. I'm just preparing you guys because that's going to spread. They're going to try to take out Promethean Action through narrative. So I don't think they'll get very far because the media's changed. They don't have much power anymore. So a lot of the stuff they try, it falls flat pretty quick. But I've seen it, and they're going to try to take it out as they grow. So just letting you guys know, you're going to see a bunch of stuff. Have a great night, Johnny. Good to see you. Jay says, for decades, many people have discovered free energy, come forward publicly, and found dead. It's true. It is true. Trish asks, do I believe in aliens? No, at least not in intergalactic beings. I don't believe there's aliens on other planets. I just don't. Even Elon Musk doesn't, by the way, and he knows way more about space than I do. But I do believe in demons who are in the spirit realm, which to an untrained person or a person only looking at it through a scientific lens would be interdimensional. But it's not interdimensional. There's a spirit realm. And Science describes it one way, Bible describes it another. All right. I miss anything else here? Montana or Young? Montana, of course. Young was more talented. Montana was better in the clutch and a better leader. So that always matters more in a Young was amazing, don't get me wrong, but that always matters more in a QB. Look at Tom Brady versus Manning. Brady was clearly better. PBD is Patrick Bet David. He has a huge podcast. He has like 2.5 million followers. He's huge. So demons are fallen angels. All right, trying to see if there's any other things I can answer quickly. I'm going to have to go to bed soon, though, guys. I'm exhausted. This has been a long week. I look so forward to it in 10 more days when I'm get to shift on this and I'll have energy. You guys get the worst of me. I'm just saying that, just being honest with you. I work all day, then I'm with my family all day, the rest of the day, and then I do this at night. So you guys get the last bit of energy I have. Just wait till I'm able to give a lot more energy to this channel. It's going to get better. It's going to get a lot better. Oh, did they find another secret room full of documents? I think they found quite a few, actually. Yeah. Will the Giants be competitive this year? We'll probably be 50-50. Give us a couple more years. We had our good run a decade ago. Three World Series in 5 years ain't nothing to sniff at. I could live on that for a long time as a Giants fan. Before that, it was 52 years since we'd won, so... Manning has a better head-to-head record versus Brady. Yeah, but Brady's got 7 Super Bowls. Manning has 2, and his second one he was carried by a defense. So the head-to-head really doesn't mean much to me. Almost all of those Manning teams were way more talented than Brady's teams. And so, Brady is way better than Manning. Way better. It's not even close. Not even a little bit close. Also, I don't think that head-to-head record counts if you count playoffs. I think that only counts regular season. Am I going to change the time? Yes. So I did talk about this in the I talked about this in the members live. So guys, I don't know if I fully announced it yet, but next week will be my last week doing these late nights. It doesn't mean I won't ever do late night streams, but I will be moving the time, currently undecided. But there will be a transition period because I know a lot of people just watch me at night and love watching me at night. But I got to tell you guys, this is no way to live my life. I got to get my life better. I've been doing this for 3 years and 4 months, and I'm tired. And my family, I want more family time in the evenings. So I will become a daytime podcast. I will still be doing my lives. I'll still be doing the clips. Everything else will be the same except better. And I'll be doing more content, and I'll be really building out the membership. I'm going to do classes, stuff like that. So it'll only get better, but I will be moving to daytime. And so I just have not decided exactly when yet. All right. I am thinking about doing the old Rush Limbaugh spot, which is 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. West, and doing, my live then every day. And I'll be scheduled every day. You'll know exactly when I'm on. So it's going to get better. It's going to get better. But I am sorry for the people who only watch at night. So, yeah, Lawrence Taylor says Montana's overrated. The guys who play each other always say that. And listen, I'm a Niners fan. I held on to Montana as long as I could. I still had Montana over Brady when Brady won number 5. And then he won 6. And I was like, he's probably better. And then he freaking won 7 with a different team. I'm sorry. You win 7. That's almost double Montana. And I love Montana, man. He's my guy. But I have a signed football by Montana right over there. I love Joe Montana. But there's no debate. Brady's got 7 Super Bowls. I don't care. I think you have to I don't think there's even a little bit of an argument. Let's see here. They all cheat. The cheating stuff with Brady is stupid. They all cheat. Vin says, dude lies when the news first comes out. Well, that's the thing. A lot of news comes out in the evenings, and I'm only going to do one live a day most days, except for the members' lives I'll do as well. I'll do a lot more members' lives. But, yeah, I'll do my one live a day, and then I'll do clips. And if there's great news, I'll do a quick clip. I won't go live, but I'll make a real-time clip and post it. So I'm going to be doing a lot more. Okay, I'm doing a lot more. But don't worry. Listen, guys. Here's the wonderful thing about YouTube. Okay, it's not like the old days. If you can't watch me, if I change my time, okay, and I know I love having you guys live, I do, and I'm sad because I know I'm going to lose some of you because you only watch at night. I get that, and that just sucks. I just can't keep doing this. You understand? Like, I'm exhausted. But the great thing about YouTube is that you can always watch the replay. And if you have questions, I'm very open. You can comment to me. You can email me. You can get in the members' lives and talk to me in the Discord. That's what it's there for. So I'm very accessible. And, yeah, so you just gotta, but you'll still get the show. You just might not be live very much. And I know that sucks for some of you guys, but I gotta do it. Thank you, W. I appreciate you having me. Can I do a show on broken windows? What do you mean by that? I don't know what that means. Brady might have had a little easier than Montana. I won't deny that, but that's still 7 Super Bowls, dude. I'm sorry. It's just like, it's crazy. I hate the Patriots, okay? I don't like saying Brady's the GOAT, but I am a football fan, a huge football fan, by the way, and have been for 30 years, and I'm just sorry. It's just, it is what it is. He's like, okay, like you could argue maybe Montana was better in his prime than Brady's prime, and I wouldn't necessarily argue with you. But if you want to argue who had a better career, it's not even close. Brady had the greatest career of all time. Let's see here. Broken windows is a crimer theory. Small crimes make it more tolerant for bigger crimes. Graffiti. Oh, interesting. I don't know if that's worth doing a show on for me, for my lane, but it is interesting. All right. Anyways, love you guys. I gotta get to bed. Listen, members lives, that's where we can talk about all this stuff. I'd love to do football and stuff. And also with all the time I have, I'm going to be having soon, I'm going to have a lot more fun with my channel too. So there'll be extra stuff. Okay. But I'm going to keep doing stuff. If you guys want to join the Discord, get in the membership now. Again, next week. So this is Thursday. This is my last day. I go Sunday through Thursday. I'm off tomorrow and Saturday. I won't see you guys. Have a blessed weekend, unless there's an emergency like last week with the assassination attempt. But next week I'll be doing lives at the same time again, late at night, and then I'm going to be shifting things. So stay on, keep abreast of changes. They're going to go. So, all right. All right. Love you guys. Appreciate you. Have a blessed night. Thank you for everything. And just please like and subscribe on the way out. And let's end with a prayer, because prayer works. Heavenly Father, thank you for today. God bless all these people watching. Lord, I pray a blessing over them right now in the name of Jesus. God, just be with them. Let them feel your presence and that you're there and you love them. And Father, we pray for our president, for protection, God, over him, protection, wisdom, and boldness in every situation, and also for everyone fighting for us on his team in D.C. and in this country. We pray that in Jesus' name. And we bless our country, God, with more peace, prosperity, and justice than it's ever seen before. So we truly see a golden age, Lord. And our kids, grandkids, great-grandkids will have a better future and a life in this country than we ever had. We thank you for what you're doing. Help us continue to see what's really going on, look through the nonsense, continue to expose the corrupt, and bring accountability, Lord. We pray for justice. And we thank you for the miracle you gave us, that you saved our country. You gave us a second chance. And I pray, God, that you do not let us waste it. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. Love you guys. You're the absolute best. And I will see you guys Sunday night, hopefully, unless there's something crazy this weekend. So God bless you guys. And otherwise, if you're a member, I'll see you in the Discord. Have a great night.
Headlines screaming like a siren at night. Red and blue shouting, nobody's right. Smoke in the streets, truth under attack. Everybody's loud, nobody's got facts. Feeds keep scrolling, nerves stay tight. Matchsticks flicked in the dead of night. They sell fear, cheap package the lies while the clock keeps ticking.